if there was one word for the whole album, it would be ballsy. Like, it was very ballsy.
I appreciate that.
For you to be vulnerable in many ways. I Don't Sing is just like right off the bat, you're hitting a home run, because that was your first song.
Yeah,
so
first single.
My question to you is, why start the album with a song named I Don't Sing?
Yeah, that was the first music video release because for me it was like a major coming out of like I have been telling people for the past 10 years I make music, I want to make music for like I want to be a musician. But even like my best friends were like, yeah, we know you do music, but we don't actually know what you sound like. We've never heard you sing. Because and that was like this big insecurity and self-worth and self-doubt thing that had been plaguing me since I was a child.
Yeah.
And I was at a point in my singing abilities where like I'd finally got scream singing down, which was the main goal as a singer was like, how am I going to get to scream singing?
Boy, you screamed.
Yeah. And once I got there, I can now do opera, I can sing Freddie Mercury, I can fucking do Linkin Park songs and not lose my breath. And I'm like, but people still don't know how I sing.
Okay.
And it was this moment of like incredible empowerment, like holy crud, the childhood me would be so proud, but at the same time the childhood me would feel as I do now, which is like, what am I doing with this?
Right.
I spent all this time, but what am I doing with this? And that's where the inspiration for I Don't Sing came from, of like, yeah, I have to start off, at least in the releasing of things, when people first hear an album is coming, I want them to realize the full story, the full weight of this album, which really is like, yeah, I've been talking about this for 27 years.
Yeah.
And nobody has
26 at the time because he just turned 27 August 25th.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's super cool.
I released...
Happy birthday.
Thanks, yeah. Been like 27 for like a week and a half.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so that's the story there.
I think it was very ballsy though, the whole song coming out with, and layers of vocals, very technically good, very well done.
That was a mix of my insanity and producer Nick's genius.
Yeah.
Because I was telling him like, I don't really know what to do here, and one day I was in the recording studio experimenting and trying to figure things out, and I was like, I don't know if Nick's gonna like this, because this was me testing the waters, like how experimental is he?
Was this the first song you started with, your record?
This is on the album, it's like song 7.
7, okay.
Yeah, it's actually, on the album, it's pivotal because I like to say the album has 2 novels.
Right.
There's the first half, which goes from the first song to I Don't Sing.
Yeah.
And then there's the second half, which starts at I Don't Sing and goes to the end.
Gotcha. 10 songs on your album, yeah?
11 songs.
11.
13 tracks, though.
Gotcha.
Because, like, one is a spoken word poem,
Okay.
and then the other one is a voice memo.
Oh, got you. All right.
So,
Cool.
it's about, it comes out to 11 tracks that are songs, I would say.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, were you sick?
Oh, hella.
When you wrote the song?
Oh, I
can't write a song when I'm sick. It's not possible.
I was sick for 3 months.
Okay.
It's like, I had a terrible case of pneumonia.
Okay.
And I was sick for 3 months.
Okay.
So that's why I was just super emotionally dead.
All right.
Like, really being hard on myself about it. Like, I was still at a place with my self-worth where it was like, if I wasn't producing, then it was like, was I alive?
Right.
So, for me, this song came to mind, and I think even in the original voice memos for it, you can like hear my voice cracking out. Because when I had pneumonia, I lost my voice.
Okay.
So I couldn't even sing for the first month.
But you wrote a song when you were struggling with pneumonia.
Yeah.
I could never think of even being able to get up and get water for myself.
Oh, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't. I could barely do that for the first month as well.
Okay.
But after a month, I felt a little better because we finally got me on the right medication. That was part of the problem, is the doctor hadn't figured out what it was at first. We thought it was mono.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was sick, and
okay.
I didn't write. That was one where I wrote everything up to the bridge, and then I was like, I don't know what the bridge is.
Right.
So I'll wait. And the bridge came to me 6 months to a year later, maybe.
Okay.
So.
Wow, it's an old song.
Yeah. I mean, I was sick with pneumonia 2018.
Okay.
And then I wrote the bridge in like 2019.
Okay. It's one of those songs that takes its time to build up.
And I knew it would be, because for one, I knew like if I just wrote it while I was in this pneumonia mindset, it was going to be too much of the same.
Okay.
Too much of the same emotion. And like revisiting the track a year later with a new but similar emotion. That's how a lot of that works for me. It's like, this is the same story. I can tell this is the same story. It was another time of me like having trouble falling asleep.
Gotcha.
But the emotions were different now. They came from a different angle. Same reason, different angle. And that's how I got this bridge of just like, count the sheep.
Wow.
You know?
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I love the intentional dissonance you have in the song.
Oh.
Some of the notes, they are not in the scales.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, I think it was the bridge or something where you intentionally made it sound like it was very dissonant. What was the reasoning behind that?
Literally just my ear told me to do that. Like, I get this comments a lot on the dissonance, especially in my harmonies, because harmonies will be out of phase if they're not perfectly
Are you talking about your vocals?
Yeah, the vocal harmonies.
I'm talking about the instrumentation. There are a certain crazy weirdness happening in the bridge. So,
it's mutual for me. It's like sometimes I'll hear that dissonance with the vocals, and because of the vocals, it'll force the track to have that dissonance too.
All right.
And it felt right for the instrumentation to have this, especially I think in that arp. The arp has a ton.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Again, it was just one of those things that I was like, this feels right. I have zero music theory background really.
And it will kill live. That part. Yeah, people will go crazy on that.
That's what that's probably one track that I'm the most excited to play live one day, because I just want to see people move to that counting.
Yeah, that's super cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's just counting, man. It's
towards the end. Yeah, it's good. It's super energetic, but it's about. Is that also the song where you talk to Pikachu?
That's Unstable.
Oh. I was very, very intrigued with the line, "Stay with me." It was part of the chorus. That's how it starts, and it's very melodic as well. So I want to get a bit of a deeper answer from you, if you don't mind. Is the "Stay with me" for a relationship or a friend, or is it just yourself? Who do you want to stay with?
The "Stay with me" is definitely, this one is about external people. Okay. It's very much, whether it's a lover, a family member, a friend, it's when you're going through doubting your self-worth because of your mental health, which is like the whole essence of the song. It's a matter of, can I really trust that people are going to accept this as a part of me and not abandon me because it's too much? Okay. And that's what the "Stay with me" is. So it is another. When I wrote it, the inspiration for me was romantic in nature, but I knew that wasn't the end-all be-all, because I've had that same feeling with friends and family as well. Okay. But at the time, it was the generic concept of love that was really coming to mind, of like, am I worthy of love? Can someone really stick around to deal with all this mental health bullshit that I have to deal with? Right. And I've definitely learned otherwise now, but that line, "Stay with me," is definitely aimed at any relationship, because that's the reality of how one's mental health can end up impacting all the relationships in our lives.
Got you. All right. Yeah. Why cut hair to become more handsome?
Become more handsome?
Yeah. It didn't look half bad there.
Oh, no. I had so many people being like, wow, you look manly. Like,
it was good. I mean,
I had people reaching out.
It suited you, your face and your structure.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. The main reason I shaved my head, I thought it felt right for the context of the music, of like that battle with the self, and how far that can go, and trying to express that visually in ways that usually don't get expressed, like depression and mental health issues and insanity in some capacities are usually all internal until the very worst moment. Right. So I was trying to figure out, how do I convey that in a very visual sense? I'm like, well, having a patch job head does a good job, so let's just shave our head on camera.
Well, we'll talk about ballsy, because you kind of did a physical thing just for a song. You wanted to dedicate your look or whatever, like, fully. You went 100% into it for just one song. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I've never been bald before. Like, that was
Okay.
the first time. I had no idea what I was getting into.
All right.
It was a big insecurity of mine because I've known I was going to bald my whole life.
Okay.
My entire dad's side of the family is bald, and I have like mostly those genes.
Okay.
So for me, it was like, I also don't want to be afraid of this anymore.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it.
Okay.
And seeing, before I even heard anyone else's opinions, looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, damn, I look fine as hell.
Yeah, man. You do.
And then I post on Facebook,
Yeah.
and so many people
Yeah.
from my past, people from my present, were just like, hey, you look really good. Just like puppy dog eyes. I'm just like, that's cool. Don't make it weird.
Well, then, why'd you grow it back?
Because now I
Pursue it
know.
again.
Now I know. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for that part of my life.
All right.
But that's not this part of my life.
Okay.
This still feels like, you know, having hair makes me feel a little cheekier.
All right.
Being bald gave me a different tone. And
Alright.
I'm excited for it,
Okay.
but it's just not. It's not that.
It's not going to happen ever again?
Not
Sure.
until maybe I'm like in my 30s. That's what I'm imagining
Okay.
now.
All right.
Sorry to
Cool.
disappoint.
Initially, your idea was not to release this into this album. I know that because you said it in the video. But you did it because did you feel like that it's okay for you to be vulnerable in your creative product, or was it because you were trying to take responsibility for the community for this? Or was it both?
It was a lot of both. It was honestly a matter of, is this something my loved ones are ready to hear?
Mm-hmm.
Is this also something that someone else is ready to hear?
Okay.
Because it is very, very vulnerable, and
Yeah.
it's in the moment. And I think there's a lot of music that talks about mental health. I don't know if they've
Mhm.
talked about it in the way that I did. And,
It was just putting yourself bare out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought what made it really crucial to that was all the vocal layers,
Yeah.
because that was actually crucial to the track for me, because there's so many voices in your head in those moments.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of self-doubt, judgment, and hate,
Correct.
and memories of the past that you're regretting, and this and that. And I wanted to capture that in some way. And so having these, like, I have an a cappella background. I did a cappella in college, so
Yeah.
a lot of the times I'll think in like these do's and bahs, and like
Right.
bringing that into,
You have a lot of that in
ooh,
Appreciate
ah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into
But no,
this-
it's not just ooh ah. It's a lot of
it's a lot of other
different
yeah, it's
vocal craft.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the scream was inspired by Given Up. I
Okay.
was like,
All right.
this is, I can't do a 17-second scream, but I can do 8.
It was so. I was surprised. To be honest with you, I've never met anybody who can scream that long and on note. Also, at the end of this, well, the whole tone of the song is there's a little bit of doubt about yourself, about your self-worth, and that,
Yeah.
all that. But at the end, you are taking responsibility not just for yourself, but also perhaps the listener as well. Because I also, in all majority of your videos, I see you talking about the community and helping them out. You also have one charity going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, all proceeds from the album, forever and always. It's not like
Yeah.
temporarily.
Right.
Forever will go to charity. That's
Yeah,
like my main goal with the album.
That's a dope idea. So
Yeah.
it felt like that towards the end of the song, you're talking about the climb, don't worry about the future or anything like that, just
Yeah.
start your journey.
Yeah.
It was taking responsibility of the community in your mind when you were writing the song, or was it just for yourself?
It was both, again. Like,
Okay.
so much of the song was both, through and through. I knew this was for me, and I knew this was for everyone else, too. And I think part of that is because I've been super engaged with the Linkin Park community
Yeah.
ever since Chester Bennington passed away.
This song is very close to the style of Linkin Park.
I guess theoretically, with regards to all their other music versus my other music, yeah, I think so,
Yeah.
because of the rock nature.
Yeah.
And I think just being in the conversations with the community for
Yeah.
so long
Yeah.
made me want to produce something that we can both turn to.
Yeah.
And originally I was actually going to release that song on the 5th, the music video, I wanted to release it on the 5th year of Chester passing away.
Right. Okay.
But I decided that it was okay because it's a part of this music video narrative
Definitely.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, those last lines, that climax was super crucial, and I wanted it to be just like how after the first verse of the first chorus, you hear like these chanting of just no.
Yeah.
A communal no was the goal. I wanted that again with a communal, like, just do your best, everything's going to be okay.
Right.
Like, take the next step and
Correct.
just don't worry.
Yeah. Saying no to self-doubt.
No to self-doubt and no to suicide. Because
Okay.
that's a big need of that piece.
All right.
It's both of those things. Saying no to giving up.
Gotcha.
Whatever giving up is today.
All right. That's a good initiative, I would say.
Yeah,
with,
and
with
it's
your art.
now that I think about it, it's really funny that it really was heavily inspired, I think, by Giving Up.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Yeah, you don't want them to give them up.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's the rebuttal. It's like
Right.
giving up. No.
No, we're not going to give up yet.
Yeah.
But great dancing. It was super rhythmic. I thought, what's he doing? Is he b-boying or something?
Oh,
it
dude,
was crazy.
That's just how
Do
I
you dance too?
That is how I dance. That's genuinely when I go to the club, I look that dorky, and I love it.
It's my favorite song from the whole record.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's got the imagery is beautiful, and is it the central piece of the whole album or no?
The song itself, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a centerpiece in my growth as an artist because that was actually the song
Yeah.
where I feel like lyrically I kind of said the biggest forget you to the audience. I was like, this is for me, and I'm gonna abandon lyrical norms and pursue what I want to pursue lyrically and out of this piece, which was a blend of my contemporary poetry background with a lot of like nature imagery.
Okay.
Because that's what my contemporary poetry goes into.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I didn't think people would care much for it. Because I was like, I don't know if people are going to like the fact that sometimes the lyrics don't make sense.
But my favorite line in the whole song has to be "Numb tastes like an ice cream sundae melted in the winter."
Okay.
I wanted to get your interpretation of what you mean by that.
Yeah. It's kind of like we were talking about with French Patio. Was very like real. It was documentation of like events in your life.
Yeah.
That was an event in my life, which is it was winter of 2016, and I was still just. It was an entire year of apathy, but it was the winter of that year, and I like had mochi ice cream in my freezer.
Okay.
And I was so apathetic that it was like I couldn't find the desire to do anything. I just was in my apathy, my lack of emotions. And it was to the point where I went and I was like, well, what about sugar? Sugar usually like is a craving that humans
Which
go
is the
to
ice cream
quickly.
in this case.
It's the ice cream.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was like, I'll go eat this mochi, and I'd take a bite of mochi.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm numb still.
Okay.
And I like feel nothing still, and like sure the sugar in my mouth, but it does nothing to me emotionally.
All right.
And I'm just holding this mochi, and I'm not like usually I'm pretty quick to eat mochi, but I'm like here and I'm just watching it like kind of melt away. I'm like not in a rush because I feel nothing, and it's like this moment of like numb tastes like an ice cream sundae melted down in the winter.
All our details are going to be somewhere in the screen over here, just so it's easy for you to find. Cool.
Yeah. Thanks again for showing up. This is great.
Until next time we meet again for more musical discussions.
Yeah. Can't wait. Cool.
Awesome.
Sounds good.